Hello, David. How are you? Amritpa. Good to see you. Definitely. You and I both. I'm a comeback kid too today. Hello, Tiffany. Good to see you, dear. Mika. Hello, dear. Tiffany is in UK. Mika is in Florida. David is in Texas. Amprital is in India. Am I close, guys? Atul. Namaste, Atul. Thank you. From India. Mika says, I missed several chats. Glad I caught you this time. Well, you haven't missed much because I haven't been around for past few days. I've been busy, so we haven't had a live talk for a while now. Hello, Marielos. East Lake, Ohio. Ah, I see. Okay, and thank you for the info. USA, East Lake, Ohio, 43. David, it's an adrenaline rush trying to get here every time. Mika says, yay, Mehran, still remember. Yes, I do. I try to. David, yes, Dallas, 23. Diane Mihawk. Diane, 59, Miami, Florida. Oh, that's Diane, it's first time you're here with us, are you? Don't recall the name. David, you've gained almost 100 followers in the past few days. Yeah, something is changing. We've been crawling by 1 or 2 subscribers every week for the past months. And then suddenly we jumped about 70 in one night or 2. And then we just going now. I think your shares have been helpful, and thumbnails. I told you guys Alper has been helping me to redesign the thumbnails. He redesigned it and I've been plugging it in, and you've been sending me all the new, when I send the titles, he sends me back the titles in the form of thumbnails. So I've been plugging them in, and I've been changing the tags a little bit, just with little extra things, and the thumbnails and so on. So it looks like we are now beginning to have a presence. Also, the live talks have been helpful. And I'm slow a little bit today. I was fine till about 45 minutes ago. Then I was not so careful. I was having a bunch of almonds and walnuts, and it jumped in my throat. Oh boy, I've been coughing to avoid complications. Death could be one of them. Boy, I've been coughing and putting myself upside down, and oh god. So I'm kind of still on a slow mood to coming back to full energy, because after all that activity, it's like suddenly you jump into a pool or a soccer field and start running. So my head, with all that coughing, my whole neck and head is painful. How simply little things can bring your attention if you don't have attention. I do appreciate every moment of life, and however we try to make it better. But such little things can bring your attention to focus on what is really most important, which is being able to breathe. As we talked about it in the videos that we have about happiness, to be independent of things. Many people around the world, for things such as emotional pain and breakups and so on, they consider themselves so devastated, while the real focus should be on the fact that what good things are going on in their life, which first and foremost, and the basic thing would be the fact that they're breathing, and the fact that they could have some drink or something to eat and some place to sleep safe. And the rest of it is just, it'll pass. But until that passes, I'm trying to share with you guys to understand why you feel that way, even if you're not so focused on your fortune of being, you know, alive and doing well. Bring your focus to the fact of understanding your psyche and why you feel that way. But alongside of that knowledge, you can also once in a while focus on the blessings that you have in life, such as not having too many almonds in your mouth at the same time. All right. Looks like I came out of gym with so much of a, you know, heavy workout. Now, let's see. Diane says yes. Yes to being the first time, Diane. Stien says, 26-year-old male, greetings from Norway. Hello, Stien. Have a nice day. How do you say hello in Norwegian, Stien? You gotta learn something. Diane says, I order an ebook. You order, you will or you did? There is a D is missing if you did. There's a will is missing if you haven't yet. But that's a good idea. Depends on what you like. Look at the, go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Click on the books, and then each book has a little video beside it which you can see what it says about the book. It's a 2 minutes video. And then you click on the book, book opens, and you can see the table of contents, what topics are covered. So you can figure out which book you want to get, or which books you want to get. And then you can further click on the book that you're looking at, the table of contents, and it will open and you have a chance to read a sample chapter. And then you can get the ebook, which is, of course, as you guys know, I've put it purposely in such a price that is equal to a cup of coffee or two. And so everybody can afford with any currency, and that's more important to me than the economic the realization of it, because pretty much that's just there for you guys to have. But if you guys get the printable book, that's then is going to make me very wealthy. Anyhow, I'm beginning to come out of this slow mood, but still I'm enjoying that slow. Boy, that was a struggle. Never coughed that much in my life, other than once many years ago. I had a flu or something. But this was a bit concerning. Yeah, David, that would be good. So Alexandra says, hi dear Mehran. Oh, hello Alexandra, you jumped away. Okay. I have always been an insecure person and always compared myself to girls whom I considered prettier than me. My ex-boyfriend was, among others, focused on physical appearance. And Alexandra continues, and this thing made me compare even more to other girls. I know that I commit a mistake by doing it, but I don't know how to approach this situation properly. Well, I guess it is a condition that we all have to compare ourselves constantly, all the time. Because that has been the way that you have been conditioned in your psyche, that this is the only way you can see who you are and what you're made out of, how much you're worth and value, by comparing yourself to something. In other words, being the model of something that happened in the past, which means somebody else, however they have groomed or endowed themselves by knowledge or by activity or by looks, however, whatever it is. So you never were told how wonderful you are yourself by yourself, and your source of understanding who you are is by comparing to the others. It's funny that we are conditioned that way, because we are conditioned to compare ourselves, to find our worth and value to something or somebody that we don't even know about them. So what is that comparison about? Just physical form, right? And who says that how the other person looks is actually what that the other person is, and what actually evaluates or gives value to that person based on that physical form? And that's all seems fine, because that's what most people are focusing on, how they look, because that's how they know themselves, by only one part of their being. As you know, we are all made out of two parts: the physical entity and the mind. The content of the mind, the connection with the universe, the flow of the energy that flows through us, binds us, and we're supposed to extend that energy outwardly to the good of the humanity and the universe and nature by itself. The content of our consciousness, these are all the mind part. But you're not accustomed to know yourself as mind and body. You're only accustomed to know yourself as body. We put ornaments in our bodies. I mean, you know, some do, and of course women and some men for different reasons put, I don't know, earrings and tattoos and all these things. And some have different reasons for memories and all that. We're talking about in general. So everybody is focused on making their physical entity part of their being, representing them, to know themselves and introduce themselves to the world and to the others through their physical entity. Well, what is that physical thing worth if you really haven't expanded, explored, trained, understood, developed the other part? So together it could represent you as a whole entirety of who you are. You are simply focusing on the shell and not focusing on the center, what really makes this shell work. You all think that, I mean, not you all, but most people think that what we look like is what we are. Our legs walk, our tongue tastes, our eyes see. But we don't realize that our mind walks through manipulation of the legs. Our mind tastes through the tongue. Our mind sees through the eyes. So it's all about body being the apparatus for the mind to get places, to experience things that it cannot do if it sits stationary. Our touch is so that our mind can experience things that it cannot by itself experience in the physical world. Yet, we think that we are only the physical part. And we try to negotiate life and understand ourselves according to what we look like and how others like the way we look like. And nobody pays attention that what really has made you the way you are? The content of your consciousness. Where does that come from? Nobody cares. It's all about how I look. You know, how fit I am, how this, but these are all great. We should all take care of ourselves, that's for sure. But none of that look, no matter what you think you look like or how the other girls look like, is going to keep your relationship together or is going to make you compatible with your boyfriend or him to you, unless you guys really understand who is it that you're having a relationship with. Who is it that you have a relationship with? The vessel of the other person? The looks? What intelligence and interaction can the look have if you don't use your mind to communicate and do things and make this look and physical body to interact in something, sports, activity, discussion, whatever. So isn't it true that you should get to know each other as you really are, not each other's shell or image? In life, always it is your image that is interacting and living. You're not living. You don't even have a relationship. What relationship do you have? With whom? Not the person. You're having a relationship between the image that you have of yourself in your mind and the image you have of your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, in your mind. And your boyfriend is having a relationship between the image he has of himself in his mind with the image he has of you in his mind. So these two images are interacting, and you are both clueless of which one of you, each one of you are. Neither yourself or the other one. And you're so focused on your physical presentation and how you look compared to the other girls. And we know damn well that there's so many pretty girls, and every girl is pretty depending on who likes what. But we all know that there's so many pretty girls who are coupled or married to a handsome man. The man is handsome, the girl is beautiful. But they get divorced. So why? If beauty, physical beauty, is what really counts, well, how come they can't make it and they get divorced? Because the connection and relationship between the images never lasts. Images is where the mind takes refuge. Image is the past. Image is what you have created for you to feel comfortable. You seek refuge, security in an image, and then you change that image according to what it is that you're trying to attend to during the day to something else. We talked about this before. Whatever you're doing, you have an image of that. You're in a soccer game, you have an image of a participant, or you have an image of a spectator. If you're in a bus, you have an image of a passenger. You drive the bus, you have an image of a bus driver. You're in a classroom, you have an image of a student. You teach a class, you have an image of a teacher. You're with your parents, you have an image of your mom. You know, you have an image of a son or a daughter. You're with your children, you have an image of a mother or father. These images constantly change. You go to a store, you have an image of a shopper. You're working, you have an image of a clerk. These are the images that you are using and letting go as soon as you change, you go to the next step of your day. And these images are the same kind of image that you will choose in your relationships. You see somebody and you like that image. And according to your memory, what you have seen of someone who dresses like this or stands like this, you assume or give an image to that person that that person is wise or smart or capable or successful. Which means, and then you go on and say, well, if I have this girl, or if you're a girl, you want this in relation with this man, then you will become more than what you are, which you're conditioned to be more. So you find things that can enhance the image you have of yourself in your mind. So that person that you don't even know, you just saw, suddenly based on what you have in your memory and the examples of this kind of a posture, it's kind of a look, or it's kind of a clothing, or it's kind of whatever that person is doing, is supposedly mean to you that that person is qualified or successful or has a certain kind of a echelon in life. That's your memory, but you don't even know the guy or the girl. If the girl is really pretty and is all tidy up and all that, you find her to be smart, intelligent, capable, and suddenly you give all the other credentials that you need to have in your girlfriend to her, because a bunch of things were satisfied. So suddenly you have this image created in your mind about that person without even having talked to that person. Right? Because everybody is totally oblivious about what really they are, who they really are, how they're made, and they think it's only this shell. Dress it nice, perfume, hair. Forget about what really makes us tick, what the relationship level can be, what bonding, where the bonding takes place, the physical or consciousness. So in that way, you're not really having a relationship with that person, because you don't even know that person. You don't even know yourselves. We don't even know ourselves. And then yet we're hoping to have a relationship with somebody else that we definitely don't know anything about. And we don't try to even find out. We just see them and think that's what they are. So we're only having relationship between the images and only with the physical portion of an entity rather than the complete entirety of a person, which is mind and body. So what you're comparing yourself to, coming back to where your question was, you're comparing yourself to just something that really doesn't matter, instead of really focusing on, do I know that person to compare myself to, and why would I compare myself to? Because that's my conditioning. To find out who I am, I'm comparing to that person. But who is that person? Does he or she know who she is or who he is? Do you know who they are that you're comparing yourself and basing them as the benchmark for who you are? If you can't know who you are, how can you compare yourself to someone else thinking that you know who they are? You're only comparing yourself, as you know yourself, to the image you see of that person, which based on your memory, you have created that image to be something good or satisfactory. But that doesn't mean that's that person. So you're comparing yourself with an image you have of somebody else. In other words, you're comparing your image with an image that you have created in your mind. So you're comparing yourself with the images that you make of yourself or of you, what you want to be in your mind. That has nothing to do with you or that person. That doesn't increase your value or tells you that that person is valuable. It's all your creation. So you're comparing yourself to the image that you have created in your mind, some image. And you're comparing your image or who you are with that image that you created, because you don't even know that person that you're really comparing yourself to. You're comparing yourself to the image of that person that you're seeing, because you don't know that person. So all is comparing is this nonsense. It makes you believe that you're less or more for no reason. Instead of that, why don't you simply see yourself as it is according to how you interact with life? Every moment, just enjoy without comparing yourself. Because comparing is like you're not seeing yourself. You're in the past. And that means you're living in the past. Don't compare. Just be with life. Be who you are. Don't compare. No images. Then you will see when you don't compare, that means you have no images. You're free from all this bullshit. You are you, and you get to know yourself. And then you will focus on getting to know that person, see if that person qualifies or not. Don't try to just look like or try to be qualified for what image you have created of that person in your mind. See if that person is actually qualified to be with you. Instead of having the images, having a relationship with each other, try to have a relationship with yourself first and with the actuality of the other person by understanding each other's consciousness. Wow, that was a long discussion, which could be longer. But since I'm slow, I'll stop here. All right. Yeah, Diane. Now I'm beginning. I knew that name, Diane Mehawk, if I'm not mistaken, was familiar somehow. I think I'd seen you on the notices of the people who got the book. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Certainly. Stian says, have a nice day in Norwegian is how en got dag. Okay. How en got dag. How en got dag. Okay. How en got dag, Stian. Sandeep says, hello, sir. Hello, dear. Leila. Hello, Leila. Tiffany says, age 43, Eastlake, Ohio, divorced since 2010 after 15 years of marriage. What is your opinion on meeting someone online? I've just purchased an eHarmony account. Oh, I see. I don't know. I have no opinion about any of these dating sites, eHarmony or anybody else, anything else, because I don't know. It's all about if you hit it off with someone, and I don't know. Maybe that would be good. You know, you gotta find out the combination that you're looking for. Combination of the physical fitness and suitability and the consciousness. So remember, though, there's more chance that you can make a longer lasting relationship with someone that you know on consciousness level than you are just giving more of a points to their physical appearance. Like if you have someone that is not really totally what you imagine the physical appearance of your partner should be, but on consciousness level you guys hit it off pretty well, you have a better chance to have that relationship last longer than if the person is what you've been looking for, closer to what you've been looking for physically, but you guys can't. Because really what it is, it's the minds that are supposed to have relationship. The bodies don't have a relationship with each other. They enjoy the pleasure. But once that pleasure is satisfied, the bigger pleasure is where you find security in your connection and interaction between the two consciousnesses. If that doesn't take place, doesn't matter how good looking each one of you are, you won't, because the connection is not where the physical is. Partly it is, but not all of it. Sandeep says, hello sir, my problem is I got cheated by my girlfriend of 7 years. Will she realize about mistake what she made in future, or it's my bad luck and she will be happy with other guy? Why would you care? He continues, what do you think about life when we lose love of our life relationship? Is that some kind of a karma? How to see life in this situation? Look, what do you care if she's gonna remember or you're gonna realize? Because you're thinking about yourself that my value is depending on if she realized how good I was. Why do you think that she should like you before you could like yourself, or to understand that how valuable you are? Who is she? Who died and left her in charge of your value? Why would you think that somebody else should like you and or realize that she made a mistake by leaving you before you can be actually confident that you are such a person, good or this or that way? Why? Somebody doesn't like walnuts. Does that make walnut good or bad? No, it just means that person's decision about walnut is that's the taste. Somebody likes a certain necklace or certain dress or certain suit. If they don't like it, does that mean that necklace or suit or dress is badly designed or bad? Or if they like it, that means it's really good? It just reflects on how they like things to be. It doesn't reflect on the suit, because somebody else is going to like it, even if this person doesn't like it. Somebody else is going to like the necklace. Somebody else is going to like the dress. Even this person doesn't like it. So you have been conditioned to think that your value comes from other people's opinion. But who's evaluating other people who are giving opinion about you? Don't fall for that. Understand yourself. Forget about karma, about having, yeah, maybe, you know. But why should you have to think that this person was the person? Why? Because this person is the only person at the moment. Recently they gave you the pleasure of intimacy, or somehow you enjoyed being with her if you haven't been intimate with her. And usually, because, you know, especially in the case of men, they're thinking about sex and intimacy, procreation, every God knows how many seconds, 24/7, well, unless they're sleeping. And then when you think about this, sex, which you think about it all the time pretty much, many, many times in a day, you always default, go to the most recent girl you've known and you've been with emotions, not one night stand thing, with emotions. You always go back to it. So you constantly are thinking about sex, and the only default would be that file that just was recently, the most recent girl that you had a relationship with. And then you think, oh, that's a sign I'm thinking about her all the time. No, you're thinking about sex all the time anyhow. But always when you think about it, it will always come to your mind the last girl that you had feelings for and you were with. It doesn't mean that was the right girl. It just means that happened to be. If you would have liked another girl and you broke up with, then you would constantly think of her, because you're constantly thinking about this sex and pleasure, intimacy. That's in your genes, if that's what you're into. So don't think of it any bigger than what it is. It was a relationship experience. You got to know her, you guys enjoyed, and then now you like to think about the pleasurable moments, and you think just because you're thinking about it, it means something. No, you're a human being. You have memories and you think about it. That's good. Enjoy it. But it doesn't mean anything. Go on. Go on with your life. El Haj says, hello sir. Hello El Haj. She told me that she is a bad communicator through texting and talking. We like each other. We have been talking about our future. I called her 2 days ago. She didn't call back. Should I call her again or let her go? I don't understand. You guys knew her for how long? She told me that she's a bad communicator through texting and talking. We like each other. We have been talking about our future. No, why should you have to be so rough? She didn't call. Should I call or should I let her go? Impatience. You know, you're talking through your hormones. You can't even see her, and you can't even qualify her. Is she okay or not? Just because you say, oh, it's a girl. Now it's a girl. So now I gotta have her. Stop that. See who she is. Is she qualified? What is she bringing to the table? Maturity, wisdom, loyalty, partnership, equality. What do you think she wants? Just because she's a girl and you want sex, you think, oh, now I gotta run around and do this. I have to have money. I have to have this. After this, because that's what she likes. She would like me for. If the girl likes you for stuff, she'll never be happy. You'll never be happy. You'll always be tense to make things for her, and she'll always think you got to bring more stuff. Bond on consciousness level, not on what she does for you, or the girl thinks what you do for her. That's why she likes you or you like her. Go beyond that and see if there's an understanding here. Don't try to push, close a deal. Oh, should I call her? She should like me. Why? Because she's a girl? Okay. So we like girls. Great. But they have to qualify. You're not a garbage coming out of the garbage, just anybody just because she's a girl. Then you gotta just give everything you got to her. See how they deal with you. They're smart. The girls are looking for quality. You know? Some girls, you know, are just looking for anything, but most decent girls are looking for quality. They're looking into you, who you are. How are you going to treat them? How are you going to negotiate and interact with life? That's what they're looking at. But you're only looking at their legs and looks. You know. Yeah, I understand that. I've been there. We are still in there. But you have to go beyond that and keep that, oh, she's so beautiful, inside you, and see how she interacts with you in life. Is she responsible? Is she reasonable? Is she bringing to the table what you're bringing to the table? Or you're supposed to bring yourself and everything else, but she brings just her body, and that's good enough for you. And that's why it won't work. So you have to go beyond that. Have respect for yourself while you have respect for her. And to have respect for her means don't judge her just by the way she looks physically. See what she's all about inside as a whole, full entity. All right. So give her a bit of time. If she doesn't call back, then you can call and say, I haven't heard from you. Have you changed your mind? And if she says yes, you say, okay, I wish you well. And then you go on, find another one. We boys think just because we've been close to a girl, especially when you're younger, and she looks the way you like, then you have to have her. You have to be with her. There is no such mandate. You have to qualify her. You have to see if she likes you, and then see if you like her, not physically, more. And then you'll see on both consents, both of you mutually want to turn that friendship into something more. Then you'll see. All right, let's go on. El Haj says, I'm 23 from Minnesota. Sorry for, okay, it's all right. Alexandra says, thank you very much for your words. You're welcome. Sandeep says, let's see Atul what Sir says about that. About what? That might bring relief to us. We learn so much from you, sir. Thank you for making video. Oh, you're welcome, dear. Sandeep says, sir, it's getting too much difficult to trust on anyone after breakup. How could I trust anyone anymore after such disaster? Well, the same way you trust going to a restaurant after you've been to another restaurant and you got sick and vomited and had diarrhea, but you still go to restaurants because logically you think that bad restaurant is not everywhere. But when it comes to human being, you think everyone is bad because the last one was bad. Treat and judge each case separately. Otherwise, you will have this perception of how things and how people are. You can never communicate with anybody. How could you? Why would you be how could you be a judge? If you were supposed to be a judge, somebody comes in and is a criminal, and then you think everybody after that comes in is a criminal. You put everybody in jail. It's not fair. You gotta look deep on evidences. So meaning you go slowly. You had a bad experience, okay, you're a little bit shy about it, you're careful, concerned, yeah, good. But that means you go slowly. Friendship, get to know each other, interact, see how things work out, if it's according to your standards or not. And then a little bit more, not jump into it, just like when you want to go into the ocean. You don't know how deep it is. You go slowly, and it's cold, you get used to it, okay, your feet still, you know, reaches the bottom, okay, and as soon as you see, oh, it's getting too far, it's not a little bit, it's too deep now, you can't reach it, then you come back. Or the currents are a little bit more than you should be, oh, you come back. Oh, it's too cold, oh, you come back. Oh, I see debris and things that I don't, oh, you come back. Don't go all the way, and then when you're in the middle of the ocean, see, okay, am I in the right place or not? No, open your eyes and go slow, and you'll see when you should come back, when you should change direction or not. Same thing with the relationship. So not every relationship is going to be good. Not every one of them definitely has to turn out the way the other one did. So you just go slow and analyze and see how it goes. All right, guys, looks like we have caught up with everybody's questions. You're welcome. So I think it's good for me to stop here, and I look forward to talk to you guys again next time. Thank you for being here with me at this time of your life, enjoying your day, the rest of the day. If it's night, probably late in India. And anyhow, I'm glad that I could have this little chat with you guys today, and we'll hope to have another one tomorrow. Be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.